Hey guys, I got kind of a cool one here today. This is a 2006 Ford Super Duty. This truck belonged to Sperry Rail Services. It was actually a rail truck. It spent its life driving on the railroad tracks, examining the tracks with ultrasonic equipment to test their integrity. The truck has an 8-inch suspension lift on it. It's got Alcoa wheels on it with Goodyear G-rated tires. These tires are like 300 bucks a piece. It's got a paint spraying system built into the truck, which is still on the truck right there. Still has the hydraulic pump in the back for the wheels. It also has a 200 amp second alternator, Lee Sneville second alternator, and that runs an AC panel. It's a 100 amp DC, 14 volt, and 25 amp AC. You could run a welder off this thing. You could run a compressor off it. There was a compressor in the back of the truck, which I'll show you. It's got Fox shocks on it. Ram air hood. It's a 6.0 diesel Power Stroke. Truck has 250,000 miles on it, but it was very, very well maintained by Sperry. Sperry's a $1 billion company, so they maintain their vehicles very well. The head gaskets have been done on it. It's got KVX head bolts. This is the KVX head bolts. My buddy works at Ford, told me that those are the updated head bolts. These are better than the ones that it came from the factory. So it had head gaskets done at one point, and it had these head bolts replaced, which are the upgraded ones. The truck runs absolutely perfect. It starts right up, dead of cold, doesn't smoke at all. It's got tons of power. Just a great running truck. As you can see, the paint on it is kind of faded. It would buff back. We started to buff one little spot right here. I don't know if you can see in the camera, but this is a little bit shinier than the rest of the truck. But they covered up where it said Sperry on the doors. I'm not sure what you could do to get rid of that. But the paint would polish if you wanted to polish it. They had like a command center back here. So you can see that there's no back seat, but there's one seat in the center. And then there's this post right here. They used to have monitors, I guess, on this post, and then the keyboard would sit right there. So the guy in this command center seat would be monitoring the equipment as this truck was driving down the train tracks. It's kind of dirty. We've been using the truck, sorry. Everything works though. Heat works, air conditioner works, radio works. It has a flip out LCD, but the LCD is broken, so it just kind of like lays there like that, but it does work. This is the AC panel. The alternator on this thing goes for 800 bucks used on eBay by itself. I have no idea what this panel is worth and what the inverter is worth, but I'm sure it's not cheap. This thing is crazy. This thing is actually bigger than the inverter that I have in my boat. And it works. Everything works on it. You can see it's got two alternators. That's the factory alternator down there, and that's the Lee Sneville alternator right there. That's a 200 amp alternator. This whole thing works. There's a couple of outlets down here on the bottom. Then there's some more in the bed of the truck where the actual inverter. This is just the panel that runs the inverter. The inverter itself is in the bed. And then there's a couple more power outlets over here underneath this thing. All right, I'm gonna start this up cold so you guys can see it from a cold start. You can see that the temperature is cold. It doesn't smoke at all. Starts right up. It's probably 30 degrees, something like that. It's supposed to snow in a little bit. It's cold out today. And it hasn't started in a week. It's warm now. I've been driving it around a little bit. You can see it's still got healthy oil pressure. The truck is an absolute bear. It runs absolutely great. Starts right up. You see the inverter works. You can hear the alternator. You can hear the truck spinning the alternator. This whole thing works. This truck has absolutely no rust anywhere, which is pretty much impossible these days to find on a Ford. But this truck literally has no rust. The rocker panels, the doors, the beds, nothing. There's no rust. It is four-wheel drive, as you can see. And you can see, like I said, some of the hydraulic stuff for the wheels, for the train wheels, is still here. You know, you could repurpose that stuff if you're handy. The pump is still here. The tank for the hydraulic fluid is still here. There's train horns right there. And this is the thing I was talking about that squeaks when you go over bumps. You know, they must have been trying to pump heat into the back so when they were working, it could go through the window. So this thing squeaks against the body when you go over bumps, so I would just remove that. But you can see this thing has absolutely no rust. There's nothing, not even a speck anywhere. This is inside the cab. I believe that tank is for the paint spraying system that's underneath, which is still with the truck. And then these are the pumps right here for the wheels. This all worked. I took the wheels off, and before we took them off, they all worked. They went up and down. You could actually pick the truck up off the ground with the wheels. That's the inverter over there. They had all kinds of electronic equipment in here, so there's still wires everywhere. Same thing on the passenger side. Not a speck of rust anywhere. I was sort of thinking about keeping it, putting giant wheels on it and painting it, but I have so many projects right now. I'm trying to finish a 1929 Dodge Hot Rod, and I just can't keep everything. So I guess I'm going to sell this one. I'm selling some other cars too, but if it doesn't get near what I want for it, I'll just hang on to it. I mean, it's a great truck. This thing is an absolute monster. It's an absolute beast in the snow. It's just a great truck. So you're doing just about 50 miles an hour right now. Goes down the road nice and straight, nice and smooth.